Hello, hello, everybody. How we doing today? Good? You know what's
Good,
funny?
yeah, good.
I went for a walk with Brittany this morning because, like, aside from Wednesday mornings, we're going to be able to go for walks pretty much 4 or 5 days a week. And in that walk, I realized I stopped because I was just time management. I just stopped emailing that artist that owes me like 12 more pieces of art. I really should hit them up and be like, hey, buddy, here's more character descriptions. Can you keep that coming? And hope they don't just ghost me because they're actually pretty cool. And I'm hoping that they don't just be like, haha, and like leave from our deal because it's been months. I've been busy. Like, I actually have time this week and next week to contact them, so hopefully.
Yeah, definitely good to chase them up.
Yeah, because, like, I think I'm owed, like, 12 more pieces of art. So, you know. Anyways. Cell, Jake, do either of you have any clue where we left off?
Yeah, I do.
Unfortunately, I do, yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Chat's funny, though. It reminds me of our DM stream.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. I got
I remember.
New chair. So to celebrate my promotion, because not my promotion, my new job, because I'm going to be working from home all the time, I got myself a better chair. Funny enough, I might be able to sell my used chair that I don't like for about the same price I bought this one for. So gotta love Herman Miller's. I just, clearly used, and the back brace is broken on it, so just want to clean it and not lie about that. But I'm also getting myself a new desk too. That's just not going to be here until the end of next week, I think. Because I'm going to be at the desk constantly. So, is my back better? Let's find out. Let's find out tonight. All right, gentlemen, who wants to lead the pack on reminding me, because I'm an idiot?
I just finished my Kingdom Rolls, I'm pretty sure. And we had to go back to Misumi, who has been waylaid on her way to...
oh my god, COVID got me. I can keep using that excuse. COVID got me. I totally forgot to set up that combat. Okay, I can do that pretty quickly.
Wait, no, I don't think you need to, because if I remember correctly, we had a little thing going, whereas if you got the job, I'd be good, and if you didn't, you would kill Misumi. I remember that clearly. So, just saying, probably unnecessary.
I have integrity.
Remember this bullshit?
I would almost believe that to be true. I honestly, but I don't have.
You said it live, so if anyone is bothered, you could always go and clip it. So
that was a deal yet. Viking says it's true, so it has to be true.
Yeah, but Viking's also true blue. He would lie for
Steve wouldn't lie.
Steve as well. I'm telling you. So if you know what I mean, you gotta stand.
Yeah, but you can't trust New Zealanders. They are the kings and queens of chaos, right? Like Mordor is in New Zealand.
So I guess moving past that as our deal. Yeah. Apart from that,
I don't remember that deal.
You made it. Okay, it was you. You're the one that made it.
He also crit on that event too. I know of no such place here. Yeah, okay, Ross. Okay, Ross. Just follow the big fucking glowing eye in the sky. Okay? All right. Does anybody else remember that deal? Anybody who's not Australian and New Zealandish? Anybody from the right half of the planet? That sounds so bad, considering the history of what the Northern Hemisphere has done to the Southern Hemisphere.
We've got Joey as well. Joey remembers.
Okay. I do Canadian. Aw, you do Canadians? That's nice. Everybody, you gotta throw them a bone every once in a while, eh? You know? I mean, I know Doxy's slumming it with a Canadian right now. She's doing her civic duty, taking care of our brethren up north. Thank you, Doxy.
Joey's 100% right with what he just said. I remember everything that Scott forgets.
That is
That is so true.
It's painfully true, actually. is unfortunately very painfully true. So if I made this backdoor deal, I'm not going to stand by it. It sounds like malarkey. It feels like there is no room in a tabletop game for shady backdoor deals. Okay? Sel, what do you think on this one?
Well, it was proposed by the DM, so you're
I
pulling
think
yourself out here.
I think because everyone is unanimously agreeing that it was the deal, we should accept this as the deal and move forwards.
You say everyone, but first of all, there are 13 viewers right now, and I've only heard from like 7 of them.
Okay, but if
leaves
there's
others.
no one to the contrary, then their opinions don't matter.
God damn it. Well,
That's a good one. Well, we have another exciting event. So there is, we'll, like I said, you'll honor that deal. And the next one
Bolita!
was,
Bolita, this is all lies. Thank you.
you
Bolita.
Sorry, it's 1 versus 8.
moving.
Bolita
moving
300.
on, we have-
But this
we have-
is Bolita. Like, right? You don't know? Yeah, no? Okay.
We have the Red Mongrel who's supposed
the
to
Spartans-
have a meeting today. So
The
we'll
Spartans-
just move past that and onto that, eh?
Yeah, but we don't have the Russian here. What the hell's his name?
That's fine. We don't need him because this event has to happen. This is something that we can't keep holding off. All right, it's okay. Me and Jake have a plan.
Yeah, I mean we can hold off on that if you want, and
Oh
we
no,
can go to Soul's
we
Kingdom
don't
Rolls and
we don't want Anna.
I'll come back next week.
No, to be clear.
You'd use the week off?
We
Would you like
Would
to
you
go,
tell-
Jake?
No, it's all good.
we have a plan, Jake. So do you want to suggest a plan, or should I suggest it, or tell Scott our plan here?
I'll definitely don't tell Scott any plans. You just have to spring it on him so he doesn't have time to plan around your plan.
Yeah. True. True and based take. We're
No, see, that's
obviously-
that's what we did with what's it call it? Inclimate, not the last session, but the session before. When Scott got off the call, we were like, all right, so what are we gonna do? And then we come up with this this plan. And then the next week we did it and Scott was none the wiser. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we do this plan though? Without telling him, because I feel like this one needs him to know.
Trust me, if you tell him that he will counter it.
What do we
100%.
What do we mute to chat? All right.
Listen,
and it's just us.
Listen. What's gonna happen is you're gonna start coming on your way, and then you're gonna be waylaid by something.
All right,
You're
fine.
not gonna get there.
We won't tell Scott. We'll just do it, and if we don't need it, then it doesn't matter.
I want to know what this plan is now. I don't even know what
It
what
was
this plan is
it was a
about.
worst case scenario anyway, so we don't know if anything's going that way.
What
yet.
is this plan even? What is this conversation about?
If only you knew, Scott. If only you knew.
I don't know. Would you like to inform me?
No. Well, Jake says no. So I guess not.
So chat. Does anybody have any idea what they're talking about?
No one in chat has literally any idea.
Mm-hmm.
They literally can't know.
Why can't they know?
They don't have the information.
This seems a little sketch to me.
They're lacking the critical information, some would say.
I do have to make a roll though. I suppose that's where we'll start. Because I have to roll for the diplomacy edict.
Oh yes, for the because you went over there. Now, correct me if you didn't go over for embassy. You went over there for was it trade?
No, it was just increased relations.
Oh, so it was just like because it was a free one. You just wanted to use the opportunity to just like go over there and be like, "Hey, we're friends now."
Yep, because they're neutral or indifferent or whatever it is, and I want to increase that.
Okay.
Let me bring up the table for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do so as well. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I slept like absolute trash last night. Oh my god, it was so bad. I woke up so many times in the middle of the night. It was not good sleep.
If you look at my sheet, I've already got the details plugged in from last week. I think if you want to double check them.
Okay, now I'm going over to Densho. So we can see this. Looking at your sheet in Densho, we have Kingdom Notes. The size of I don't know if you have this. No, that's sorry, wrong one. Their size is. Where is it? Oh, I was in the wrong spot.
40.
I don't think their size is 30. Oh,
That's
yeah, their size
47.
is 47. Yeah.
Yeah.
So DC should be 34. I think that's correct. You have no penalties to relationship mod. And I think that's a pretty easy check for Masumi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's like a broken character that I'm going to have to kill, right?
No.
Well,
Unless you're killing every Grand Diplomat because they're all practically.
every broken character, I'm gonna have like a crosshair on, and yeah, every time I see a broken character like Masumi and
Masumi's also level 9, thank you.
And all of them, I'm gonna absolutely put them in my crosshairs and go.
Any level 9 character is so easy to make powerful. They're level 9.
But you don't have to make them that. You don't have to give them a plus 42. You know.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Because you can give them a plus 28 and have a chance of failure. Isn't the whole point of the game to have a chance? Just have a chance.
Yeah, we have plenty of chances. Have you seen my loyalty score? Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, Jake. I'd like to see you roll a natty 1. It doesn't matter.
Do I still? Yeah. Okay. All right.
He did it to himself. Nice.
Yeah, his modifier was 1 higher than the DC. So if he rolled a natty 1, he would have 2 over the DC.
Now that all those temp modifiers are gone, it's back down to a 28.
What temp modifiers?
I used the Winnies, which I plugged in last week, and
that's right.
It's a +2 for
because of a previous
the
event
thing
or
that
what
she's
have
wearing.
you. Yeah.
The thing that she's wearing. Oh no, it was because of that previous event, wasn't it?
Yeah, because of a previous thing that
That's right,
that had
yeah.
transpired. Yeah. Okay, but because we're dealing with things a little bit different, I have to actually look up one quick rule for you. This is gonna be
Unless there's a build, I don't think you could shift it more than once.
very tired this evening. If you guys knew how busy and crazy my day was today. Let's see. Edict. Yeah, diplomatic edict. Here we go. So here we go. This fact may also influence generally increase the DC for every attitude such as helpful. So you aren't doing embassy, but if the diplomacy check fails, if the check fails by 5 or more, fame decreases, and the other it worsens by 1 step. Usually, if you succeed by 5 or more, their attitude increases by 1 step. So because you did it by 5 or more, Jake, all you did is you increased it by 1 step, so they went from, what is it, neutral to friendly?
Indifferent to friendly, I think, yeah.
My apologies, indifferent to friendly, but you also gain 1 degree of fame. So more or less just like how incredibly eloquent and how elegantly she behaved, how she presented herself, so on and so forth, in the eyes of that clan, not just portraying Densho, but also in the ways that that clan finds, something that they like. It spreads far and wide, which is a good thing.
It is good. Do you remember how to spell the clan name?
I am trying to remember how to stream right now. Manmosu. Manmasu.
Okay, great. And that actually brings me to 10 fame, which is, I think that is the first. Yeah, it ticks up now or something, I think.
10 fame? I don't think 10 fame does anything special, does it?
I thought it did something. But it made, I'll have to relook at it. I thought having 10 fame actually did
I
something.
don't think
No, it's
I
when
think
you have things like 10
fame is
lore.
its own bonus.
Yeah, when you have 10 lore, that adds 1 to your fame. Or 10 society
Okay,
adds
yeah,
1 to
yeah,
yeah, things like that. Like if you look at your corruption, you're so fucking corrupt across your kingdoms that you actually have a whole point of corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think fame is its own benefit, basically.
Hey.
All right, well, then that's all done then.
I am trying to stay awake. I'm pumping myself full of caffeine and sugar, trying to stay awake. Give me half a tick.
Why don't we just do a half session, man?
Well, we'll see how we go. But let's you guys
we probably
discuss
won't
your
need a
secret
full one.
plan real quick. I'll be back in about 45 seconds. You have a quick
No.
plan discussion.
We can't. We can't tell chat.
Nope.
Don't let
We-
Cell
we-
take over the
this-
session, Rosin. I'm doing my kingdom rules this session. What do you mean take over the session? I'm the one having Do you believe this?
It's nice to see your repping Shader with your matching orange today.
Yeah, it's my favorite jacket. It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, your orange pants too.
No, I don't.
Damn, well, that's something you gotta get for next time.
I don't have orange pants. I guess I can go to try to go buy
you'll
some.
have to get some, man.
I guess I will. I'll let my parents know to take me to the store. I don't got a car, so
Let them know, sir. Let them know.
I will.
Right.
Guess fun things. My last finals on Wednesday, and I'm going home Wednesday, so I don't have to pay for food
Nice.
any longer.
So
Parents,
how long are you off for?
I'm off for the summer,
Okay, yeah.
which is your winter, right?
Yeah.
Or is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're about to go in the winter. What is it, next month or something?
Okay.
This kind of depends on.
Yeah. Next month.
Did you to get to discuss your little secret plan thing or no?
No, we can't tell chat either.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you had an opportunity there.
Me and Jake already discussed this in detail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does Naren know that you guys are going to try to overthrow him?
Nick doesn't know the plan.
Poor Nick. Poor Dickless. All right. So, what's next? There was a very good question in chat. Does he get information about the clan? That's something that you would acquire because you're clearly spending time there. So when Masumi returns home, she would absolutely be able to bring information to you. So give me 1 second. Yawn again. Again, do apologize. Here, nope, that's not the right clan. Nope, that's not the right clan. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. Is it pinned? Boom, boom, boom. Let's try this one. Nope, that's not it either. This one. Okay. Cool. All right. So, you already know that the size of the clan is pretty large. One of the so she's not a spy, to be clear. She's not the person that's kind of running around and gathering all sorts of information. So she's not the one like checking their military strength or anything like that. That's not what her job is. But she is dealing with the various politicians that happen to be there. So that being said, you can find out good bits of information about them. First and foremost, you can find out that the warlord's name is Warlord Hanzo the Viper. This happens to be a human, for whoever that matters, happens to be a human. This person is very business focused. So whenever she actually interacted directly with the warlord, this person did not, obviously there's a bit of flattery, there's a bit of, the typical kind of like diplomatic stuff going on. But for the most part, they're very business focused. They're concerned about the economic well-being of their clan, for its like viability and its placement in the future, etc., etc., etc. Right? So that's an important thing to know. One particular person that that you definitely would have avoided was this woman by the name of Amaya. She happens to be literally the consort to the warlord. Literally does not get along with Masumi. As a matter of fact, any amount of flirting that Masumi would have done did not go over well with her at all. Go ahead and roll me a sense motive for Masumi. Okay, I was like, that took 20 minutes to see the result. So with that 20 right there, Masumi would definitely get the idea that she does not like her at all, like I was saying beforehand. Specifically, Masumi gets the impression that this woman is insecure in her own position. She wasn't able to get too much information because she's not a spy as to why she is the way she is. But again, she was always seems to be like very distant with Masumi, very short, cutting off to Masumi, so on and so forth, to the point where Masumi literally just took the approach of trying not to interact with her at all, or like sidestepping around her in like kind of like public events. So if it was one thing like she would, the two of them were in a conversation together, she would try to angle the conversation to kind of cut that woman out of it, because it just made things a little bit too difficult. Give me 1 second. Sense relationships. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me another sense motive, because it's a separate check from the basic one. Does she have any other abilities like that, sir?
She has. Let me have a look. It's not. There's this, but I don't think that really applies.
Hold on.
No.
Okay.
She try and
so if you
change her
fail
opinion,
diplomacy
but
check and so on and so forth. What was that?
That I think she could try and change her opinion, but this woman, I think, is like you said, not much for me.
No, this is a matter of changing topics and whatnot. That's what this thing right here does.
Yeah.
The one that you just showed me. Stupid thing. It always wants to focus on my microphone and not me. Like, I'm a human. That is not. All right. So, so with the sense loyalties or whatever it's called, relationships thing, one of the things you would notice is, as opposed to sensing her loyalties, kind of like the flip side with that for the relationship one, you know that what it is that she, for whatever reason, you can't understand why, hates her husband. She hates Hanzo. And Masumi is more or less like a threat of power. Masumi, being as flirtatious and whatnot as she is a threat of power with between her and her husband. So she then by extension hates Masumi, because Masumi is a threat to her and her position and so on and so forth. Again, the reasoning why and how to approach it, whatever, those are all going to be separate checks that you have to do in the future. But you definitely are reading that very, very quickly off of them.
Yeah.
All right. So you know that they're what is it, high priest or what have you? They're high priest. Somebody by the name is Zelinda. Zelinda happens to be a worshiper of Luthor of the Deep. That's their primary faith. That doesn't mean that, again, everybody in that religion, in that clan worships that. Again, it's all about the Idiopants. But that happens to be that particular high priest's kind of like focus is towards Luthor of the Deep. Beyond that, there's really nothing else I imagine that would be of super significance that you would need to know about. Give me one second. Yeah. There's nothing else that I imagine you would necessarily need to know about. I believe one of your other clan friends, I think Sel or Nick actually dealt with Lothar, not to be confused with Luthor the God, or Lothar the God. Lothar, Nick dealt with. The Grand Diplomat was away while you were there, and Masumi would have found out that the reason why he was away is because he actually was with Clan Kushibashi, and so on and so forth. But let's see, any other details? Their primary castle happens to be called Shadowkeep. They happen to have a really fine red light district, but Masumi would tour it, but would not. Ooh, have Masumi make for me a knowledge nobility check. Yes, nobility, not the warlords.
Nobility, all right. Does have a rank in that.
Not bad.
Okay. With where she's from, I can't give you that bit of information with that result. Last bit of detail I think I can give you. Aside from being a place like what's that clan there, Cell, has a decent number of like watchtowers and forts and whatnot dotted throughout the lands for security, which makes sense. But the last detail I'll tell you is one of the things that they notice is that they specifically have they use avian to transport messages. They actually have an Airy. They use an Airy to transport messages, which is an important thing because that means that correspondence can happen intelligently across vast distances relatively quickly with them, if need be, which is good news for you. Cool. I think that's it. That's all the details I'd give to you from her going to you. Cool. Any questions you would have about trying to push any more details?
Not at this stage. It's good. It was a good first meeting. Getting that information about the consort is actually quite interesting and maybe something Irithel can look into. So, yeah, I think we're good for now.
Okay.
They're a big clan. Yeah, we're not gonna push too far too soon.
Yeah, because they are not small by any stretch of the imagination. Hold on. Joey's trying to DM me something on the side, and I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. He says, if you check the first line on the quick notes, I see nothing in quick notes. Wait, unless it's over here. Oh, first page. Ha 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 ha. Gotcha. How is that possible? I don't even understand how that's possible. Oh, that's right, because that's... what is Pete to you?
What, to Masumi?
To
or
you.
To Varix?
Varix.
That's Varix. He's great grandson.
Great
Masumi's his
grandson.
granddaughter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gartro. Then, you probably would no. Yeah, because you would have already had that information, so I'm gonna click the delete button on that one. All right, cool. So, anyways, we're good. That's all we have. Because that would have been information you had long beforehand.
Okay.
All right. So, moving on. You, any other? So, Jake, what's the next thing for you?
I think that's it for me.
No, wait, you gotta meet the red mongrel.
Oh, if we're doing the red mongrel, then that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We can definitely do the red mongrel tonight. So, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, did you place your assassins nearby?
Something's placed. Something. Oh.
Are you ready, Sal?
Yeah.
Okay. Jake, you remember where you're meeting him?
We're meeting at the place that I don't remember that was previously.
You
our
actually
vassal.
re-suggested a different location from the original suggestion because you didn't like the idea of lingering around your allies' clan without him knowing.
Yeah.
He was trying to choose neutral turf that he thought you would be happy with, and you went outside of it.
Yep.
So, I think he's going to be meeting with you.
In Vosk.
Hey, where's that? Here, right?
Yep.
Thought so. So we can move. We can drop Varrix's token right there. What's up, sir? Oh, he's checking something out. Look how big he is. Look how big Varrix. He's so big and scary. Okay. Oh. I'm just gonna wait for him to return. Sorry, everybody. Give for a moment, please. There we go.
Sorry about that.
You're no problem, sir. We're having you meet with the Red Mongrel, just outside of where Vosk was. Cool. Who are you going with?
Just a small contingent of guard. That's what he said. He said just to meet him with like 10 people, and he'll bring 5.
Okay, and you're not bringing any of your advisors or anything like that?
Nope.
So all unnamed people.
Yep.
All right. Tony.
And Joe.
Yeah, I told you everyone in Clean is Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
But like which Joe Pesci? Or is it like an assortment?
An assortment.
Gotcha. So it's the Home Alone Joe Pesci's that keep raiding into your friends' clans.
100%.
Okay. Nice.
That's why they keep failing.
Yeah.
It's just this kid that just keeps foiling their plans. It's the same kid.
Oh, it's so funny. All right. All right. So you, sir, do you try to like get there early for the meeting? Do you try to arrive just on time? Like, what's your approach to this? And you know you're meeting at the town. You have a general idea of what the town looks like, though obviously you know it's dangerous there because of the thing that grew there. That being said, are you trying to hit like the hills to the east of it, to the west, north, state of the plains to the south? Like, where's your approach? How soon or late do you want to be? Go ahead.
I'm gonna get there right when I'm supposed to, and we're just gonna take the most direct path.
Okay. So getting there when you're supposed to is going to be like, let's say you're meeting at, because it's a clandestine meeting, but it's not like meet in the cover of night. So you're meeting when the sun is high in the sky, right? So it's like around noon, on whatever day that you guys had previously mentioned. As you're making your travel to the north, why don't you go ahead and make Varrix's perception check? I imagine you're keeping your guards close and not necessarily doing crazy scouting.
Yep. Let me just bring up that sheet.
You notice long before you get to the town, when you're a good distance out, there are two riders along the southern edge of the town. Kind of you knew to a degree the safe distance from the fungus that grew there and the problem that it caused. You know that they're in the safe zone, like outside of the town, to the south of it. So long away, you notice that. But also, as you're walking up, you can definitely see there's a third rider that you can tell that's popping in and out of view to the distance. You see that they're going to be to your west, so to your left-hand side as you're riding north. That's kind of popping in and out of view, and clearly is a scout that's riding around and looking and whatnot. So there's three riders you can obviously tell that you're expecting to bump into 6 people in total. The mongrel, as well as his 5 others. So 2 are at the southern part of the town that you're walking towards or riding towards, and 1 definitely is coming in and out of view. As you get closer and closer to the town, you definitely notice that there's another rider that's to the east that probably was coming from further up north and is now going down south. So you see there's another rider over there that's clearly acting as a scout. You definitely notice them working their way around your flank. Go ahead and roll me a profession soldier check.
I can't do that.
You lack profession soldier?
Yep.
Okay. Then have one of your soldiers do it. As a second
You can
level
also just roll a wisdom check.
As a second level warrior, your soldiers will have 2 ranks in it. I don't think he has a high wisdom. So and assume that your soldier has a +1 to wisdom, so roll the +3. No, Joe, this is tactics. Okay. Are you happy with their 16?
That is a good question, isn't it? Am I happy with the 16? 19.
Okay. With the 19 total, you come to the realization that so your guard that's with you, your soldier that's with you, advising you says, "Warlord, it's just 1 soldier. From what we can tell, the way that they're armed, speed that they're moving, they're most likely just scouts. They're looking ahead, trying to make sure that we,
Once more with feeling.
didn't break the deal and bring more soldiers behind us. Do you want us to have a couple break off and follow south just in case? Or stay tight?"
Once more with feeling.
Stay tight.
He
They
nods.
haven't, done anything that we haven't expected.
He nods in agreement. So as far as you can tell, you've been able to place 4, though you can't always see all of them. You can place 4 out of the expected 6 riders. You continue making your way towards the actual town itself. Anything you want to say or do on your approach to the town, or do you just keep making your way towards those 2 commatory that are there?
It's within the safe zone, right? We're not.
Yeah, they are
You know,
south of the
that
safe
is-
zone, which means you will not be walking
yeah,
into
yeah.
the dangerous area to walk up to them.
I suppose we'll just walk up to them.
Okay. So you make your way up to each of those to each of the soldiers that are there, looking to see which one's the red mongrel, because you've never seen them before, you have no idea what they look like, etc., etc. So that being said, what do you say as you approach them? Because you can see that there are 2 soldiers there sitting on the backs of commatory.
Right, is one of them look more like a warlord than the other?
Unfortunately, no. But then again, the who's to say the red mongrel would look more like, air quotes, a warlord than any other, right?
Yeah. What's the red mongrel's name again? I can't remember.
Oh, it's Odeker, I believe.
Yep. Of Clan Eisen.
Right. Yeah. Well, Varys would approach and just say, "I'm here to meet with Odika."
Handed me to Odeker, and one of the two of them will start to ride forward. They're not a small or unimpressive person. I mean, granted, let's be clear, they're Karok, so they're not particularly large either, right? Because Karok aren't big, but they're not unimpressive in their stature, demeanor, and whatnot. And they ride forward, and they give you a bit of a bow, and they say. Who asks to speak to Odeker?
Varix of Clan Densha.
He nods and he looks past you, seeming like he's sizing up the different soldiers that are with you. Then looks back at you and says, Warlord Varix of Clan Densho.
Yes.
Tell me, Warlord Varix of Clan Densho, did you bring with you your whole army?
I did not. I was told not to. I was asked not to, he'll say.
He nods, understanding, and says, I've heard rumors of the armies of Clan Densho. He looks at your soldiers again, looks back at you and says, looks like you may have brought most of them. I don't know if you want to respond to that.
He doesn't.
Okay. The other soldier on their commatory rides forward and gives that one a bit of a whack and leans over and says something to them. I don't know if you care to listen to what they say or not.
I mean, if I can hear it, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can go right ahead and roll your perception. Yeah, you're definitely going to be able to hear it with that result. What you hear them say is, fuck's wrong with you? Stop. And so he kind of like gives like a bit of like a devious kind of grin to his friend. And then finally just like nods and submission, if you will. Understanding that's probably not a good idea to piss you off when he knows that the actual red mongrel will be pissed if he fucks things up beforehand, and says he will be with you soon, and lets things kind of sit there. The two of them go to ride back like a good 30 feet or so closer to the town, but again, not too much closer than they already were. Do you say or do anything while you're waiting?
No.
Okay.
Varric said probably, just have idle talk with the soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing of merit.
Varix is incredibly perceptive, far more so than either of his, than any of his soldiers. So it's definitely no surprise that he would see the approach long before anybody else does, because Odeker is not a small man. I'm just trying to pull up his the way he looks right now. Give me 1 second. Because he's massive. Sheet is loading. Oh, hold on. And I'm signing in as the wrong account. Okay. Un segunda. While it finishes loading, I was looking something else up beforehand. And here we go. So, Odeker himself is not a small man. He's definitely a mountain man. There's no doubt in your mind about that. He stands at a massive height. Like, you can definitely tell when he dismounts his steed, he is going to tower over you. Even you sitting atop the mount that you have there, he will tower, right? Because he is just a big, big man. But that's not why you see him from the distance, because there's buildings between you and where they are. They also happen to be riding, I'm going to use the phrase again, their steed. But once their steed comes into view, you realize this is not just any commatory. It's a mammoth. Like a woolly mammoth. Like a big tusked beast of the winters that it's riding as it comes towards you. This creature is massive in and of its own right and looks incredibly devious. I mean, if you're putting the size category to it, we're talking about huge size category. So it is a large creature. It comes riding over, and you can definitely see a bit of fear amongst your soldiers. Why don't you go ahead and roll a profession warlord check that you have to ease the mind of your soldiers?
I have knowledge warlords. I do not have profession warlord. I think only Nick has profession warlord, because it was like a take on profession soldier.
Then either what is it? What is our, I'm looking for here? Diplomacy or intimidate to keep your soldiers in line.
I know which one that will be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Inspector Frank. So, like a bantha. Oh my God. What do you say to them?
He says, if you show fear, we'll feed you to it. The warriors of Clan Den shall act like it.
I like it. I accept. All right. All right. So he rides up, and the soldiers kind of like steel their nerves and stay by their warlord's side. He doesn't ride to you from the from the east, the west, or the south. He rides right through the town, right through the infested town. And you can see as he's going, because again, you have that incredibly high perception, you can clearly tell there are a degree of spores that are being kicked up around the heels and whatnot of this woolly mammoth as it's walking through there. But it doesn't care. It seems to just ignore it as it's walking through. And him sitting atop the woolly mammoth don't care either. This leads you to understand why he might employ such a tactic that he used in attacking this town, because it doesn't seem to affect him. But either way, he comes riding south through the town itself to finally ride up to about where the guards are. That we're about 30 feet from you. From there, he will dismount the mammoth, and he does so. It's a long drop, even despite his large legs. It's a long drop, and you can hear the thud as his feet hit the ground, like the as his feet hit the ground. And as I said beforehand, he towers. He's a very tall person, standing close to 9 feet in height. And then you add boots and a war helm on top of that. Again, a massive man. He will make his approach over to you, and then give you a respectful nod, but not a proper bow, of course, because you're both warlords in and of your own right. So there's no prostrating in front of each other. So he gives you a respectful nod, and will simply say, "Thank you for meeting with me, Warlord Verix of Clan Densho."
Well met. Is he a warlord? He's a warlord in his own right.
Yeah,
Like it's a grey area. You
It
know what
is,
I mean? But
yeah.
respectfully, I'll call him Warlord Odeker of what's his clan?
Eisen.
Eisen.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm fairly positive that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Eisen Odeker. So yeah. Clan Eisen, yes.
Yeah. All right. So he'd say, "Well met, Warlord Odeker of Clan Eisen.
Clan Ice Theme. Yep.
Your beast is tremendous."
He doesn't look back at it or anything like that. He nods and says, "Indeed, as was the effort to tame it." He looks past you and then gives a nod and then looks back to you and says, "It seems Warlord Verix is a man of his word. You brought no reinforcements, just the 10 soldiers."
You also wanted your word.
He nodded. "I just needed scouts. Walk." It was a request, not a demand.
Yeah. Like a walk question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like walk with me sort of thing.
Yep.
The request was in the body language, not the word.
Yeah.
So your turn to go walking with him. He'll ask you, Varix. And it's one of those things where he says it, but he looks at you, kind of like judging your face to make sure, like, formalities out of the way, we good. And I imagine your face remains neutral, so it's good.
Yep.
Congratulations on the recent successes that Clan Densho has had as of late. The growth, prosperity that you have brought to your people is something not easily accomplished, certainly not as rapidly as you have done in the south of Kajinksi.
Thank you, Odika. It's something that we will continue to push.
He nods and says, unless, of course, there is too much pushback.
Yes, you're not wrong.
There are pressures from all sides, are there not? You have your close relationship with your allies, seeming to run to each battle, arm in arm with one another, providing greater strength together where you would likely fail individually. A brilliant relationship.
That is part of what has got us this far in the first place.
But at the same time, that relationship strangles you, doesn't it? Reduces your ability to expand to your your northwest or your southeast.
That is, if we had plans to expand there.
No, your plans are for elsewhere, aren't they? Your plans are for the south. Southwest mostly, but south.
That's right.
How about the north? What are Varix's plans for Clan Densho, north of his current home?
Let me bring up the map.
I'll zoom out for chat.
We have very little interest in the north. We will take a bit more lands to feed a growing army. But our attention is southward.
And how far south do you intend to go?
Till I no longer walk this place.
Nods. That is the path of a true warlord, is it not? To never settle. To always expand. To make sure that your reach far, wide, that your enemies tremble, and your people's expanse, the place they call home, is ever growing. Tell me,
That's right.
what are the other pressures you've experienced as of late?
Predominantly, we have problems with some of the tribes seem to be gathering in greater numbers, as is seen with those recent raids. Northward, though, has been pretty quiet.
Quiet, has it?
For the most part, things that don't concern Densho, at least.
He shakes his head and says, surely you can't be too satisfied with the taxes as they stand.
I have a very good person who manages those taxes.
And what do these taxes buy you?
At the moment, to be honest, I think it's the right to exist and grow. There is always the promise of aid, should we need it. But for the most part, I believe it's the North keeping the status quo.
The problem when you call for aid is as you face your enemy before you, the aid approaches from behind. And you need to be careful exactly where the tip of that blade is pointed, don't you?
Of course.
Everybody knows where the Ashen Orc belongs. The Ashen Orc is from the Barrenlands, is of the Barrenlands. Your history comes from it. Your legacy belongs there. It is of my belief the Barrenlands are meant for the Ashen Orc to reign over supreme, especially with this incredibly long life that you have been given. Older than myself, and I imagine than most others I have ever met.
Ferris nods.
Do you think the northern clans will allow you to continue to expand unhindered into the Barrenlands, collecting countless warriors to your armies? Because defeating the tribes is not difficult. The peoples are tenacious, but their leadership foolish, their technology lacking, even their faith misput. But how will the northern clans feel about warlord Daelric amassing armies in the thousands, the tens of thousands of properly trained, correctly tenacious warriors coming directly from the Barrenlands?
My honest opinion is that when that time comes, they will probably move against me.
You see that time happening soon, or many years in your future?
Well, if current pace can be kept, sooner rather than later. However, there are things happening in the Barrenlands now which are slowing progress. That
He nods.
question is open-ended.
Which is why the Ashen Orc shouldn't have to turn his attentions to the north. You should have them fully set in the south. You have your allies. They can watch your back. Instead of splitting your attention, you should be claiming your homeland. He'll kind of turn, like stop and like turn towards you. He looks at you and he gives you like a look of sincerity. Daelric, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that you belong in the Barrenlands, and that land should be yours. The king of the Barrenlands, the true warlord of the tribes. I don't think Clan Densho is the title that you intend to use ruling over them. That's a Kajinxi title. I'm sure you have something far more significant in mind, or that can be guided to you by your... what are they called? The advisors that sit beside every Ashen Orc over the eons.
The Oraculi. Is that what you speak of?
That's it. I'm sure your Oraculi have hidden somewhere in their old tales the proper title for the lands of the Ashen Orc. Do you wish to have this expanse unadulterated, unhindered?
Whilst that would be ideal, Barrenlands is a struggle. It always has been. to get it without one seems wrong.
Nerds.
No, Odika, you have much foresight. You have predicted things that I have not spoken with anyone about. It's rather impressive.
He'll nod to the compliment, like, appreciatively. He says, I have my own plans. Do you not see it? You've had the opportunity to attend the winter ball. You must have felt it. You can see it in them. You can smell it on them. The way that they quiver when you enter a room. They're frightened of you. I'm not saying this because I wish to prostrate myself before you. If you and I were to come to blows, I know who would be victorious, which is why they also quiver when I enter the room. It's because you and I have something that they have lost over the years. We are warriors, and they are children.
Dalish.
He nods. They're playing dress up in neighboring kingdoms' clothes. It's disgusting. They forget what it means to be Karuk.
Varys nods. He agrees.
I make a proposition to you, Varix. All of the barren lands are yours. The armies of Kajinksi, the riders of Kajinksi, will be at your call to aid you as you continue your expanse. The river you've started to form from the north to the south to grow fertile lands will be solidified, expanded, the flow being the flow strong. This aid will be provided for you by Kajinksi when Kajinksi has its proper rule put into place. What I need in return is neutrality.
Varys is nodding as he's talking. What of my allies? Because like you said, I wouldn't be where I am now without them. Where do they stand in this grand scheme of yours?
That depends. I truly have deep respect for Narin. Him and I have similar backgrounds. He's a small man, but he's skilled with his weapon. He uses it to make up for his stature, identifying where his weak points are. He's military-minded and brilliant for it. I have already begun my reach to Narin to have our own understanding. But I will be honest with you, I have yet to meet with him. He has not agreed to any terms that could be seen upon any negative light.
I see. So you plan to talk to Narim like you have myself?
Our conversation will be very different. Our understanding will be very different. But I expect it to be mutually respectful.
Can see that. And what of Shadow Tessa?
He crosses his arms and looks down at you, because he's just really big. Looks down at you. What of Shadow Tessel? Tell me, Varix. What is your opinion of this boy?
Tassel is different. He's not corrupt, but he seems to rule his clan through. Varix kind of laughs a bit. The love of people. They throw their lives for him because they feel for him. They want to do him proud. It's different, but effective.
It sounds incredibly Daelish.
He is rather similar in some ways to the North.
In some ways, as far as I understand, your visit to the North was a tad uncomfortable for you, whereas his visit to the North had them eating from his palm with a twirl of his wrist and a few very well selected words.
Yes, that is true.
You ask what of Shadow Tessel, and I answer your question with this. Paradel is a problem that will not be going anywhere anytime soon. The biggest problem Paradel has in the east is the Dalelands. Let that thorn grow deep in their side, fester, and cause an infection that leads to their demise. And if Shadow Tessel can cause a similar infection, let him grow south. Let him grow into their other flank. Let him cause another infection. Let him deflate the Perrin for us. I do not respect Shadow Tessel. He's a boy playing dress-up in Daelish clothes. But he is an effective warrior in and of his own right. He'll lead his armies to the Perrin demise. And if he carves a home there, let him keep it. As long as he understands the mountains get very cold at night.
Eric's nods. I'm kind of answer these questions. And what of the other southern clans?
Every warlord needs those that are going to look over their lands for them, don't they? Those
They
that
do.
know where to bend the knee may keep their lands, and those that lose their legs will be replaced by others that can stand above them.
That is fair. That is fair. Well, as long as you are not directly threatening either of my allies, as I've said, my word is good. My word is I will stand with them when the time comes. But I have no... We are like-minded in ways, Boudica. I see you as a true warrior, a warlord. And we may both have greatness on the horizon. True greatness.
I think we're like-minded in the sense that we both realize there is a people that we truly love and care about who have lost their way by one means or another, and we wish to beat the stupidity out of them and correct their course. For you, it's the Karak of the Barren Lands, festering in their own filth, dying needlessly to stupid wars that could be directed elsewhere. And to me, it's the puppets in the north. Their short-sightedness, their lost passion. I will teach them Kraline's burn. They will feel that fire in their hearts, or they will know the true cold of winter.
Very still wanting to acknowledge what he says, but doesn't have anything to add.
Yeah, kind of like a nod or whatever. He'll extend his like massive hand, to take yours.
Yeah, very still. He's in.
So if he extends his hand, he also draws out a dagger, but because he's so massive, his dagger's like a short sword to you. And he'll go and he'll place his dagger into the palm of his hand, and you can clearly tell he's looking to make a blood pact with you.
Right. Is there like a spellcraft or anything I can do to figure out if this is something else?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have a very big modifier, but hey.
You can also roll a knowledge history too. A spellcraft gives you nothing, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a roll of history then. The same modifier.
History you'll pass. This is an old thing. This is an old Karok thing. To cut your hand and to meet in the middle. It's not the fact that you're sharing blood or anything like that. It's not like there's magic necessarily involved. Though who knows? There could be. Who knows what the fuck this guy is able to do? But like the old Karok of the Barrowlands barely had any magic. What it is you're gonna return home with a big gaping wound in your hands that tells your people, I made a deal. I made a blood pact with another warlord or another leader or what have you. Your people will know the significance of that, and that you're bound to it by your own honor or word or whatnot. And there is a degree of honor that is deep-seated in the Karak culture. Not weird political red tape bullshit like you're dealing with in Kajinxi right now, but, you know, like the shit in the Barrenlands, they have their own honor that they stick to. So, is there magic involved? Maybe. But definitely, it's the meaning behind it and the fact that your people are going to see this wound. You know, technically speaking, you can use a spell or some shit like that to heal it. You're not supposed to, obviously, because part of Karak culture, that shit didn't exist. But it's like one of those things where, well, there's no rules against it, you know, either, because, again, part of Karak culture, there was no magic to exist. So, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're dealing with this in the modern day. There's so many laws that don't exist that should exist about like internet shit, but it's like we keep like coming up with new technologies before there's any laws to protect against what those new technologies can do. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, go ahead.
All right. So just so I'm on the right page, he wants neutrality, but I said more or less said I would give it to him if it didn't conflict with my allies.
With specifically Shado and Kushibashi.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
in exchange, when Kajinxi is his, Northern Kajinxi is his, you will have their support in building infrastructure for you to grow more like wheat and whatnot, and you will have soldiers to aid you in your battle to the south.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I will do the same.
You draw your own dagger, and cut your own hand. Again, his massive hand is going to grab yours. You know, it stings. You inflict like 2 points of damage or whatever it is to yourself. That doesn't matter. It stings. My apologies. It stings. And obviously, like, you know, you guys are swapping parasites, or I imagine like I don't know, you guys are both cut off. There's like literally like worms that are clawing between your hands or some shit. Oh, fuck, so weird.
Yeah.
Millipedes. But anyways, but yeah. So you clasp and you shake hands, and as you like return your hand to your side and his to his side, and he puts wipes the dagger on his pants and puts it back inside the sheath. He says, "The reason why I met with you first, Warlord Varix, is because I have always been deeply respectful. I've always deeply respected the idea of the Ashen Orc. If I may be so honest, I have always had a twinge of jealousy to the one who was born as the Ashen Orc." He does take like a half step forward and does like look down at you, though I can see there are some flaws to being them. That was meant to be like a bit of a joke.
Yeah. Varix laughs and he says, well, another will be born, and I do have daughters.
He nods, appreciating what that could mean, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't press that issue any further because obviously it's one of those, you can have those deals in the future. The Commatory you rode in on, because you got a special one recently, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Speak of this thing to me, he says as he turns and starts walking back towards the other, where you guys had your soldiers set aside.
Yeah. I've acquired it recently. It was specifically bred for its strength. Nothing like, and he looks up at the mammoth. Nothing like that there, but it is a fine bird.
He nods. Yes, and she was not my first steed. A great cat I rode, with teeth as long as a Karak's arm. Unfortunately, at one point, he was making a jump to engage with an enemy. The jump was a bit miscalculated. Its paws could not grasp the ice, and, well, the decision was this. The cat would fall, or we would fall. The cat served me well. I defeated the enemy in his honor. I ate the hearts in his honor. And then I found a steed that could properly support my weight. You have enough hearts. He slaps his belly. You continue to grow.
Once more with feeling.
Varix laughs. I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah, Varix is meaty, isn't? Like Varix isn't like
Varix is
he's
tall
like
very tall for an orc. He's 5'10", I think.
yeah, but he's also like ripped. He is like
Yeah.
4% body fat, right?
He's a big boy.
No, 4%'s like nothing. It's all meat. It's all like muscle.
I described when we did the character creation. I was like, Varix has like world's strongest man body, not like Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean?
I think the artist did Mr. Olympia, didn't they?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to see where is Varix's image. Hold on one second. I'm trying to bring it on stream. Yeah, I think they made it more like Mr. Olympia. Like trim and cut as fluff, right? Like, cause he's so look how beefy he is. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, I keep saying beefy. He's the quads, sure, but like he doesn't have a big belly. You know, I was saying like Odeker has like a bit of like a fluff to him. As you can imagine, as a creature that identifies like every aspect of him as being like winter. Like he's got like these furs and shit like that on him. You can imagine he's got some, so get warm at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know. Anyways, so so continuing, he listen, Viking, put it away. Viking, put it away. Down, boy, down. Where's that little corgi or whatever it is? Oh, anyways, so where were we? Oh yeah, so you walk back talking about the commissary. He'll ask, that was crafted for you by Kushibashi, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
The one-armed man. His name. What is his name?
I don't know.
The one-armed man. What the fuck's his name?
Are you talking about Tonscrete? Yeah,
Consecrate,
Varix,
yeah.
If you're asking me out of game, yeah, that's his name. Varix is like, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah. He says, he nods and says, but it's him that did it, wasn't it?
I don't know too much. I had my daughter facilitate the trade.
He nods, says, keep your friends close. And doesn't finish the adage, as obviously you know why he knows more about Clan Kushibashi than, right? As you're approaching, getting close to where the soldiers are, but they can't quite hear you yet unless you're like speaking loudly, intentionally speaking loudly. He says, since you know my intentions, and you know I intend to approach the others, would you freely offer advice in my meetings with them?
You probably know a lot about Naren as it stands. So I couldn't really... He's a proud man. You might have some issue in getting past the fact that his representative was killed. I believe they were close. But
He shakes his head, not knowing what you're talking about.
Light spear.
They'll like open hand gesture towards the town to your north, and say, "You mean here?"
Yes.
A small price to pay for the opportunities to come.
I would agree. He may not. But as for Shader, he is a surprise even to me. Good luck.
He nods and says, you understand. If there isn't an understanding, things will need to be done. He is no Karak. He has no place in Kajinksi, not Kajinksi proper, unless he can rectify his ways. There may be place for him on Eroth, but not Karak.
Grace lets out a bit of a grunt. It's more of acknowledging what he says, but he says, do you wish for me to speak as to them as well? Or do
He
you
shakes
want
his head.
to talk to them first.
He shakes his head and says, I am Odoker, the Red Mongrel. I fight my fights, and I win them. Don't let small victories be mistaken. I did not oversee those battles, and I have yet to lose a battle.
Grace will nod. That's it.
he will go back over to his mammoth, so about 30 feet from where you are at your commatory, and raising his voice, say, "Well met, warlord of." He says, "Well met, warlord Varix of Clan Densho, the Ashen Orc. I expect we'll be meeting again this winter."
I'll see you then.
He nods and climbs up on the mammoth. You can get a roll of sense motive.
Yes, very sense motive. Sure thing. There you go.
Are you happy with your 19, or do you want to modify it?
I want to modify it. What am I, Sel? I am the least for luck using, right?
By far.
No, it wasn't by far. I did the math.
By far.
It wasn't.
Stop lying.
Don't lie.
Why do you lie so
did the
much,
math.
Sel? No.
I did the math, you bastard.
Chat. Is Sel not the most lucky using person?
We confirmed it was Nick. You deleted the logs
No,
to hide the truth.
You confirmed. It was
Yeah,
like,
and then you deleted the logs to deny
I'm
the
hearing.
facts.
I listen. Okay.
Do you believe this person?
There was water stains from the bamboo paper that was used. Okay. Like I know. I hired cyber ninjas to double check the count. Okay. I know. Moving on. Jake, with your 22, you know that what he said was kind of like a multi thing, right? First and foremost, he was saying we'll meet again likely this winter.
But how we meet?
Yeah,
will be
exactly.
determined.
It was, exactly. Like it can either be friendly or not so friendly. But you know that the reason why he did that double entendre was for a reason. It was like a warning to you. If things go sideways, don't think I'm just like gonna walk away on some handshake if you fuck things up, right? But it was also showing to his men, like, yeah, we're out there chatting, but at the same time, these are just scouts. These aren't like his advisors. So he owes them no explanation. So he's just, that alpha projection in front of the soldiers that are around him. So he climbs onto his mammoth, which he does so way easier than you would expect, because that thing is fucking massive. It is so big. And he's just like step, like very easily on top of that thing. And again, it's like,
how old is he?
He's a mountain man. So how old is he? As a mountain man, you're not entirely sure how old mountain men live to, but they live about as long as humans, give or take. So he's probably like 40-ish,
Okay, yeah.
So again, well younger than Varix, because Varix is an old man. Is that chocolate milk?
Yes, it is.
So I take everything back. We're gonna make fun of Jake from now on in every stream, okay?
Why?
Because he's enjoying his chocolate
why?
milk.
Chocolate milk is fucking lit, dude. Holy shit. Get the fuck out of here. It's
lit.
great. Holy shit. It's chocolate milk hits a spot that other drinks don't hit. Unironically.
Yeah, it's the bathroom because I'm lactose intolerant. But that aside,
Well, sucks to be you, fucking loser.
bro, I just downed some B&J. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that, right? Like,
yeah, true. No,
but chocolate
great.
milk is like a bottom tier drink.
No, you just don't know what you're talking
and it was
about.
just brought back from the shop with me and handed to me. Thank you. And I'm very appreciative of it.
What are you speaking about, Scott? You're
Listen.
literally off base on everything.
Drinks go in this order:
No, just
hot black coffee,
no.
good clean water,
So, see, this is already wrong.
Scotch, everything else.
So something tells me that this is already wrong because crisp, clean water isn't number one.
It's number 2.
Holy shit.
It's number 2.
No, but it's not number one. So you're off
It's
base immediately.
absolutely number 2.
No. Fucking crisp, clean water with some ice.
No,
It's
ice.
different.
Whoa. I don't want ice.
Ooh,
No
cold
ice.
water is so
Nice,
good.
nice and room temp. Or cool, I'll say. Cool.
I like cold water, all right?
I still drink room temp, if you will, water from the days when I used to work out. That was a long time ago. So long.
Group?
Like Cell didn't have a single hair on his chest still. But when I was working out last.
That was a long ass time ago.
Anyways. All right. Where were we? Oh. So you hop onto your mount and you turn and ride. Your soldiers can't not see the fact that you have a wound that's dripping from your hands. And I imagine as you ride away, you're going to bandage the wound as you go.
Yeah. And then I kill all the soldiers and heal the wound.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
I would believe it.
Like, that's cool. Like, I don't care. I mean, that's totally Varix is evil.
No. He doesn't do that.
He would look at 2 or 3 of his soldiers and say, "You need to prove your worth to me. Kill the other 7." And then, like, they just barely, like, 2 of them are barely alive after they succeeded. And you're like, "I'm proud of you." And you kill the 2 of them because they're already, like, wounded and weak.
Yeah.
I mean, as if Eric's could murder all of them by himself.
Returns to his people and they're like, "What happened, sir?" As he has one cut in his hand and he's his soldiers are dead. He's like, "They attempted a coup. I solved it." And they're like, "Whoa." At one point in time, they tried to cut me down. And I was just like, "Stop! In the name of..." Ow! Sorry. Dance off. Anyways. So you guys you make your way back to your clan.
Yeah.
How do you present your wounded hand? It's probably take you 2 days to get back, so it's a fresh wound.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, unless I'm asked about it. Or in the next council meeting, I guess. You know what I mean?
Absolutely would ask you about it. Yes. What? It's not even a question. Of course they would ask you about it.
Yeah, so you'd probably call a council meeting, I guess.
Yeah. So at a council meeting, I don't think there's anything else we're doing for your clan, but at a council meeting where you guys are talking blah, 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 blah. At some point in time, who is it? Who would say something? Most of your people are from the old country.
Irithel, I would say, would probably have something to say.
Actually, I think it would be Egrid.
Irithel won't talk back to you. Remember the last time he did?
Because
that's right.
Egrid is a law speaker.
Yeah.
So
From
Egrid...
Southern Barrenlands.
Yeah. So Egrid being relatively early into the meeting would say, I actually have to look up Egrid's stats because I remember nothing about them. Or I should say almost nothing about them. Where are you, Egrid? Where is your... Do they have a character sheet?
Yeah.
Probably.
No. No. Where?
Yeah, they're missing.
Maybe one was never made.
Oh, no, right there. I can see it. Under advisors. Above hype train.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. They belong in Hype Train. Oh, because they're a follower, but they belong in Hype Train because Hype Train can affect them. Okay.
They're not a follower. They're a hype train.
They're a level 3 follower.
What the fuck?
Yep. From the Southern Marylands.
Oh.
Yep. So Egrid is female. It's usually a female's name, but I had to confirm. Okay. So, Egrid would say, Warlord, I need to address something in the room. You have a very specific mark, injury on your hands. It suggests that an agreement was made.
Yes.
Would you care to explain?
There's only the advisors in the room.
Yeah.
Yep. He'll go through what was said and what was agreed to. And it is all contingent on his meetings with Kuchi, Boshi, and Shader. But in a sense, our agreement is to do nothing.
You good, Scott?
That does not look pleasant.
No, that's a coughing fit.
Yep.
Can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
I think Nick's gonna be harder, considering he killed Hoko.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, that is gonna be rough.
It's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to run and get cough drops from upstairs. Ooh.
You want to put us to break real quick?
Well, let me just finish this chat with the group if I can. Give me 1 second. I'm looking through your character. The side characters. Really quick. While you're... while I'm casting your breath. Gonna roll for me a sense motive, sir. You always suck at that.
Yep.
He says he doesn't get -2 every time he fails.
Actually, yeah, she's gone right now. Give me 1 second, sir. I'm checking certain things. Oh boy. That one hurt a little, I won't lie. That was intense.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
COVID! So much fun.
Isn't it the most fun?
Mm-hmm. Love it so much. I love the COVID. It is so hot. I love the COVID. It's like smut. Okay. Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna make a GM roll. /R GM. Oh, did a space. /GM roll. 1d20 plus secret number. Okay. All right. Sir. Yeah. So you explain the whole thing out, and everybody seems to nod along. Let me just hold on. Pull up one sheet real quick, which is that one. And after everything's said and done, who would speak up first? Urzog would say, "Warlord, Do you think we can trust this mongrel? Says, obviously using the word which is meant to be insulting as an insult.
Yeah. Trust is a strong word, but only time will tell. Before anything, though, we still need to see how both Gucci and Shadow take it.
Chiming in on that one would actually be Saren, which would say, well, you say it depends on how they take it, but you've already made your deal. Obviously, your deal includes if they attack your allies, you'll defend your allies. You said that your bond with them is greater than your bond with the North, but that doesn't change the fact that you've already made your deal with him. I imagine there's little to no breathing room on that.
The deal was strictly contingent on the other two. We're all in or none of us are.
I assume you shared pretty much every detail with them?
Yeah.
Who would speak up next? It would be Suresh and say, "That's not how I heard you explain it, Warlord."
Well, out of game, that's how I meant it. So if I've explained it wrong,
She'll chime in further and say, "It sounded like you may mean that." I'm gonna play on that one. Sounds like you may mean that, but you more mean that for Clan Kushibashi. Clan Shado, perhaps a little bit less so.
How so?
You said it yourself. He said there's no place in Kajinksi for Clan Shado.
Clan Shadow as they are now, but he also said that Clan Shadow could take land for its own in itself.
Chiming in, Gartesh would say, "Own sovereign nation. Place to make his own rules. I bet Shada would like that." Scratches his chin for a second. I might like that. Like, yeah, toying with the idea of, defecting to Shado, because right now Shado plays with some fun magic. Looks at you and then says, "What are Densho's laws for dual citizenship?"
I believe this, and he takes out his falchion and bangs it on the table.
Cuts like a turkey or something, like some carcass. It's like cleaves the carcass, meat or whatever. He nods and says, "Indeed." Then he looks back up at you and says, "But what if dual citizenship can give me unlife?"
Then you won't have to be worried about this then.
He nods.
Says as he kind of points it over a bit closer to them.
Yep. He nods, scratching his chin, then looks back at you and says, "It's just a thought experiment." And then kind of goes back.
A dangerous one.
He almost doesn't hear that as he's continuing scratching his chin, just kind of thinking to himself about, I don't think anybody else at this point would chime in. So unless there was anything else you wanted to do, I'm going to do one more thing with you, and then we can move on. I still have to kill a character of yours.
No, I don't have anything else to do. We'll say.
Cool. That being said, after the meeting's adjourned and people go their separate ways, you'll actually have, let's do a 50-50 roll here. Jake, ask somebody to roll for Lyra and somebody else to roll for Aurorum. Whoever rolls higher will go.
Joey and Steve. Joey for Lyra, Steve for Aurorum.
Steve, please roll low. I hate that accent. Come on, Joey, get my back nice and high. 69 and up, Joey. Come on. Come on, Joey. Yeah, big, thick number. D100. D100, boys.
Very low.
Joey, you suck. I hate you. Steve almost got 69, and you rolled Cell's age. Jesus. All right. So Lyra would leave. She looked like she wants to say a word with you, but when Aurorum kind of like steps up to you to leave to speak, she just kind of like bows out and leaves the situation. Aurorum would stay to have a word with you after everybody else leaves. Yeah, just to put aside any concerns of anybody else that might be in the room. You know, it's just, Warlord, a word with you, please. About, of course, Vrogazarov. Insert bad accent here, and we'll keep talking normally.
Yes, okay.
After everybody leaves the room, so first let's start like saying like a couple sentences about Vroga. Like making conversation with you about Vroga, but it's meant to be like to you it's like a weird conversation because it's like short and innocuous, and like you're answering, but you can definitely, I imagine Varix almost has like an annoyed questioning tone to him, like, why are you asking me this? Like answering the questions, but get to your fucking point. Eventually the door snaps shut with the last person leaving. He would look back, seeing everybody leaving, and then turn to you and say, Warlord, did you notice something strange in this meeting?
I did not. I'd say you have.
He raises an eyebrow. When was the last time you noticed Irithel be silent?
That is a good point. A very good point.
You and I are born from the south. You more so than myself, but still. And then he kind of like lets it linger from there.
I see. That is a conversation we'll need to have then.
He nods for a moment, like he's thinking. And then he'll continue with saying, I think, unfortunately, Warlord, it might be less of a conversation with words. And just kind of like lets it linger for a couple of seconds.
You suggesting I beat it into Irithel?
It's one of those, it doesn't have to be beating, but, you know, split loyalties are split loyalties. And you know Irithel's background.
I do. Alright. Think of what to do there now then.
He nods and says, Vroga is not a god known for his wisdom. He's a god known for his action. He's a god that commands from the front, and those that follow do so because he's proven his worth. And then we'll give you like an appropriate bow, and we'll turn to leave.
Alright, well, I will handle Irithel. Do you want to take that break though?
Why? Are you saying that you don't like listening to me die?
Yeah, I'm saying exactly that.
Why
You
not?
need to help yourself.
I am helping myself. I'm eating ice cream and drinking coffee to have the strength to get through the session. What are you talking about? This is the most healthy way to live. I'm American. Come on, man.
That does fit.
It's funny.
You're forgetting the Twinkies. All right.
So my older brother, when Brittany got a new job, because obviously in America, your for those of you that aren't from here, in America, your health insurance is linked to your job. Unfortunately, here. So when you switch jobs, your health insurance will switch based off of what your provider offers you. So what provider your job offers you. So my older brother says to Brittany, he's like, oh, you're finally in like a tech field, so on and so forth. Your health insurance is going to be so much better. Listen, I literally spent 3 months studying health insurance. Like I've mastered it. So when you're ready, come to me, send me the information. I'll tell you what the best option is because of X, Y, Z, so on and so forth. Come to me. We show him the health insurance that she got offered to him, and he's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. And we're like explaining details to him. He's like, I've never heard of that. That's illegal. I've never heard of that. It was just so funny because like he is in this like insular bubble of what most tech field jobs offer for health insurance and how fucking good it is, and doesn't realize how bad the rest of the country has to deal with health insurance. So we literally had to explain to him. I'm like, Gary, I want you to understand that right now, Brittany and my jobs, as it currently stand, not my new one, as I currently stand, both of our jobs offer us health insurance. We can get health insurance on our own, which means if either of us choose to go on the other person's, there's a $200 a month fine for taking our spouse's health insurance because we can take our own. On top of that, if either of us or both of us are smokers, there's a $100 fine for each of us for being a smoker, right? On top of that, if we don't have COVID vaccines, we get a $17 bi-weekly fine, so $34 a month each, which we have our vaccine. We're fine. We're not smokers, so it's fine. We get our own health insurance. It's fine. And he's like, this sounds illegal. He's like, so wait a second. You could have a $464 a month fines alone, $464 a month. If both of you were smokers, both of you had your own jobs, but took the same insurance and neither of you had a vaccine. We're like, yeah. He's like, that sounds illegal. I'm like, bro, it's been legal for years. That's legit a thing. But then luckily I found out that my new job will be a proper tech health insurance job. And I'm like, oh my God, it's health insurance like I've literally never had. I have almost a European health insurance. Not really. There's still like a deductible and whatnot, but it's really good. I'm so excited. So anyways, I brought this up because see you guys in a few minutes.